I did. Just testing. Because at Odlums, we really care that your mum's baking is perfect every time.
Who took a bun?
He did.
The care Odlums take shows each time you bake.
In today's Urbandoned video, we are covering two of Ireland's ageing Odlums factories in Cork and Dublin, each having lied vacant for over a decade. Within both colossal sites, we discover halls full of untouched machinery and working power, as well as empty decaying spaces out of use before closure. There was a little bit of everything to be found during our 2022 explorations. Join us as we venture inside the former mills and watch as we make unexpected surprises along the way.
Wow, it's coated in webs. Like no one has used it or been in here for decades.
Oh my god, you'll never guess what.
What is it?
95% of our viewers aren't subscribed.
95%?
That's alright man, calm down, there's still time to fix this. Hit subscribe with notifications on to never miss a future video. First up in this two-location special, we find ourselves along the docks of the city of Cork on our 2022 Ireland trip. But our target was the Odlums flour mill that had operated from the 1930s. With an impressive exterior from the waterside, it begins to appear more desolate once you see the rear smashed windows and overgrowth. We weren't sure what to expect inside, with limited documentation available, but we were about to find out.
Starting at one side of this flour mill, and I'm not sure if you can see there, but we've already experienced an insane amount of cobwebs, so we're just ducking and diving between them because they're
everywhere.
They're just everywhere. It's really annoying.
I don't think I've ever seen this much.
Looks slightly stripped here, which is a shame. Remnants of an old control panel.
Something in that far room there, some sort of machine.
Yeah. I always love these doors, the big sliding doors that you find in mills.
Yeah, they'll never move though now, they're always
No.
stiff.
I've just walked through another load of cobwebs without seeing them. That's an old machine.
Like a press.
Potentially, it's quite hard to tell. The belt's still running up to the rest of the machine.
There's bits of machines, conveyor belts, and hoppers coming down from the floors above. Obviously the flour milling is a downwards process, beginning at smaller rooms at the top and then ending here, which is why we started in that huge exporting shed, where a lorry would come in and take everything away. These are from Rochdale. At the time of filming, we just released the Wheatsheaf Shopping Centre video.
I love the architecture that's still been implemented with these beams. More control panels here, in relatively good condition. Diagrams on them as probably as to what they were controlling, and then they're all opened up, so you can see the inner workings of them.
It's quite a sad piece of paper inside this notice board. Probably from the last day of work inside this factory. And it lasted from 1934 to 2009. Crazy. And it all comes down to this. We just found this as well next to the notice board.
Like the out passes, or maybe to clock out for work.
Yeah.
And there's a little, the device that it's swipe your card through.
It's a bit dusty now,
It
but
is a little bit. It doesn't run as well as it should.
it's cool how they're still there.
Just heading upstairs. I'm sure we'll see more machinery and parts of the process very soon. That's a good sign. Lab's up that way, but we'll check this floor out first.
Oh, I hope they're still there.
More decay here.
Yeah, look at all the dead leaves coming in through that window.
Could be offices. In fact, no, this is the rails for the trays to slide along, and that would have been where they served the food from.
See this still up?
Yeah, I doubt it. Completely locked. I assume there's some kitchen stuff in here then. All rusting, but it's all still here, which is quite nice to see.
I'm not going to check the fridge.
Got to go for another absolute load of spider webs. Fridge is empty.
There's a shower here. I mean, that is a locker room, but it's strange that
The shower would be right next to the kitchen.
I guess you have to make do with the space.
2003 on this newspaper.
Many tanks of different colours. This room's quite big, it stretches all the way over there.
Yeah, it must have been a major part of the process here.
Oh, this is cool. Looks quite dated.
It does, it's got the classic mint green colour.
Yeah.
As well. It's very diagrammatic, and it's also got some nice dials there as well.
Yeah.
Constructed in 1892 as the Cork National Flour Mills, the city was among the first in Ireland to adopt the roller milling process. The factory became a prominent asset of Odlums after an expansion in the 1930s, key in producing for bakery and catering customers.
The building does bend left. This is the exporting shed that we started in.
These look like funnel bags. Funnel the flour down into machinery potentially. It's hard to tell when it's become so empty. There you go, and you can see that, but that says S-Packs A flour. So it would have contained potentially the final ingredient before being shipped out and exported. These staircases are classic ways to get between floors in a mill.
Some stripped machines. Doesn't look like much on here.
Anything to your left?
Yeah. There's two rooms here. One's full of papers there. And this one's got loads of parts in it.
Loads in here. It's all dated. Stuff to do with productions. And there's a machine here as well.
Some cool things here. Farinograph, I'm not sure what that is. But it just looks old. It's almost like lab equipment, I feel like.
As forsaken as the structure had seemed from its exterior, we were witnessing plenty of interest within the former complex. We were fairly surprised to see a lack of vandalism internally, and fascinating artefacts survived for more than a decade of vacancy.
There you go, that's what it was a thermoregulator. Some of the dials there, not very dated. So many old papers, especially here at the back of the room. You can see a cash book there, and loads of different pieces of paper with handwriting on. This is an official piece of paper back from 1976. It's incredible.
It's a drawing room here with one of the old Odlums signs. I wonder if this was plastered out front and it's been took down when the place closed. An old IBM typewriter too. Got that vintage dark green colour. The colossal R&H hall right next to us. Also abandoned, but a fair bit more difficult to access than this one, as we found out. Such an incredible building though. There's little circular windows at the top, really, really old industrial design. I'm sick of having to swerve to avoid spiderwebs. Interesting machine with a motor inside. Oh, look at this window. Very, very nice. More of these tanks. There's all offices here. No computer in that one. Loads of files. My god, the decay in this one. More files and belongings for staff.
This looks like the labs here. Hopefully there's stuff left, and while there is, these are some of the best ones I've seen. You would not expect to see all this equipment in here. With the state of some of the other rooms, it's nicely decayed as well. There's liquid in this cylinder. I wonder whether it's actually liquid used for any kind of tests, experiments. All these cupboards are still full though. The fridge has got all sorts in it still as well. These have probably just been left here entirely and not been set up at all.
More examples of the date the building closed left in here. Shows there's been a lack of vandalism, because usually a whiteboard like this would be covered in names and silly drawings. A few bits of equipment down in these cupboards.
Got this really old oven back here. It says it was calibrated to a certain temperature. Definitely used for part experiments and tests. That's a sketchy looking staircase.
It is. Look at this sign though. That looks very dated. It's got a rip through the middle, but somehow it still survived. I'll try this. It feels okay, to be fair.
That's good news. See the window from above's fallen down onto it.
Oh wow, straight into this taller room. I think these are the same silos that are moving down. Would have contained all the flour. Feels more airy in here. There's a few of the same machine here. I feel like this is for blueprints, but I might be wrong. The front, it kind of looks like an iron. Just space for storage.
Up onto another floor. We're reaching the pinnacle of the building here. The roof's a lot lower, and there's more machinery than we've seen so far. Again, not too sure as to what each piece would have done. That's really nice. It's got some sort of fan on it at the back. Maybe a motor.
Having explored the entirety of the facility, its height meant there was only one thing left to do. By the 2000s, Odlums was facing competitive pressure from imported flour, particularly from the UK and Ireland, where excess milling capacity had driven down prices. The value of sterling's decline made UK imports more attractive, affecting Irish factories for the worse. Odlums would announce the closure of the Cork factory in July 2009 with a loss of 33 jobs. The premises have remained derelict since.
Odlums flour is in a class of its own. The quality never varies, your baking never fails. So whether you're a novice or a superior cook, use Odlums flour every time. Heaven only knows what I'd do without it.
Secondly, we are amidst the port of Dublin, a few days later in 2022, with focus on Odlums' former flour mill, also yet to be documented. With next to nothing seen since closure 10 years prior, we were very intrigued by the huge site.
Inside an abandoned flour mill. There's bits of machinery left, but so far we haven't seen anything that is kind of jaw-dropping in a way. But we're definitely into the vast majority of the site. It's very vibrant green, isn't it?
Very nice.
So many cobwebs. There's a little bridge here that will connect us to another portion of the site. Look at this lovely Art Deco staircase. They added a wooden banister as well, probably for safety. It goes up the whole way. So these handwritten signs on the walls. This is a bit nicer. It's been stripped a fair bit, but I think this would have been a conveyor belt. There's more of those handwritten signs too. A nice Avery scale in here too. Still looks in amazing condition. Now there's a machine in here. I think it would spin around.
Roughly 3 times the size of the Cork premises, there was so much to explore in Dublin's facility. However, at the pinnacle of our trip, our ferry back to England was looming closer, so we knew we had to be pretty speedy.
Up another floor now. The floors are quite samey, to be honest. We're hoping to find some cool machines and maybe a control room. But they're probably in a different part of the building. Some stuff's still here though. These rooms here would have had rolling machines in, but they're long gone. You can just see the platforms they're on. It's the only thing that remains. There's much more decaying up here.
The auction stuff's still going on, right?
Yeah, you can still see the path. I like the colours on the walls.
Yeah, it's really nice. London's always tend to be really colourful.
There's more machines scattered about.
Big filters, all of them. Big factors, big tanks, water tanks. Good sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid.
ZL. Jesus Christ, this place is massive. That could be a really cool staircase there with the breeze block glass.
One of Odlums' main commercial mill operations, the Dublin factory had been running since 1920, with the ability to produce large quantities of flour for retail, as opposed to bakeries and catering like its neighbour. However, its reasons for mothballing were every bit the same. Persistent losses due to cheap imports of flour from the UK and Northern Ireland, and the high costs of operating within the outdated premises eventually led to the business announcing closure in March 2012.
Careful.
Oh, I can see the roof underneath us, so but I can't see it.
Let's go for it, love.
It's not a staircase.
Oh, it's not. Really nice colours.
Yeah.
So we're in the building now that contains the towering silos, which I think will just cover the entire, that portion of the property.
Where about we've entered this? How many floors up? Just look up.
I reckon we speed run this. Right, it breaks out here. Wow. This would have been quite something before it was stripped. They would have shot in all directions. There's a few left down there, but very unfortunate. Because this could have happened like not long ago. Some form of machine here. You can see where materials would be inserted into it. got a motor there as well.
These unique machines appear to be industrial mixers, their retro green shade a sign of their age. Although a lot of machinery had been auctioned off, the heavier and defunct ones remained, gathering dust.
Never ending. Luckily we're going down from that.
Oh, it looks good in there.
What, this room on the left?
Yeah, it looks like some sort of decaying office. An office adjoining the control room. Still some stuff in here, like a printer. Old files, keyboard, mouse. There's also this cupboard full of books. Keys are still there. See how many silos they had. There's 30 huge vertical ones that cover basically the height of this building we're in now. It's more than 30, there's 50. That's crazy. Well, I like the look of this. Lovely windows on the walls. Feels a bit admin-y. Oh, there might be labs at the far end. Security's office, maybe? Here's a little lab. Not much in here though, but some nice decay. Another dated sign. Jesus Christ. Okay. This might be the best thing we've seen so far. These benches are so old-fashioned. Well, the middle one's not, but the other two are. Wow. Sort of where they tested chemicals for the process. And it seems that everything was left.
It was pretty exceptional to come across a stocked laboratory in a building abandoned for more than a decade. The dated benches, plated text on the doors, and untouched chemicals gave the room a time capsule feel, as if no one had stepped inside since the workers left in 2012.
Conference room. Power's on. There's a lot of stuff here, but all seems quite wrecked, and it really doesn't smell too nice. See the motivational message at the top there? The map of Dublin. Made it into another building. Just looking for the control room. Could be in any of them, but we've seen a shaped building that you'd think would have film. All the machines were stripped in these halls. Another old Avery machine here. With the classic red that they're known for. This looks positive. Wow, this isn't a control room, but it's not interesting. More labs. In a completely different place though. These are more tacky, as you'd say. Almost like a school classroom. It's an old microscope. Not often you see these as they're quite expensive. Right, finally we think we've got into the right building where the control room will be housed.
This looks like the right building.
Strange layout, the staircase working around the lift.
Well, that's disappointing. Or is it? It's not really. There's something.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
Nice. Not what we wanted, but...
All around this side as well. No, just another office.
Oh, baby. Nice. Never seen this method of chocolate before.
No, it seems almost cartoon. Everything would just roll down.
Yeah, molding to another.
Go down to the bottom. It's so high though. It's the tallest building on site. We're crossing a bridge to the final building that we've not been inside yet. It's kind of a different entity, but they do connect, so we'll have a sniff, and if it's not looking too good, we'll just leave. After saying all this, it might just be boarded. Look at the cobwebs. Oh my god, it's like a horror game. Never mind. This looks pretty cool. There's a cat.
Oh my god.
How has he got in here? Hello. See the control room though?
See ya.
Oh my lord.
Oh. Oh my god.
This is a very strange turn of events. Wow. This is lovely.
This is insane.
It's coated in webs. Like no one has used it or been in here for decades.
This incredible control panel was the perfect finale to the 2 Odlums factories we explored in 2022, as well as our Irish trip. The cobweb-covered gauges gave the impression that we were the first to walk into the space for years. It is uncommon to trace 2 industrial buildings of this scale that are so far apart but house so much similarity. Entering the forgotten flour mills had been a gold rush for anyone industry-minded, containing every aspect we love to find in these facilities. There have been proposals made in the aftermath of the closures, but the pair of Ireland's most prominent former flour mill landmarks still sit deteriorating 3 years later, reminders of the industry's decline. Here are some of our photographs from the abandoned Odlums factories. If you like the look of them, check out our Instagram page in the description, where we share images from our explores months before they are seen on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We are close to sharing the first bunch of 2025 Urbandoned videos we plan to release. Keep an eye out because you won't want to miss them. See you next time.